John Wick Chapter 4 promises to be the biggest action movie from the franchise, and with it coming to theaters soon, let's take an inside look at Keanu Reeves' preparation for the John Wick movies. You wouldn't believe the extent of training he needed to do. Keanu Reeves has one impressive acting portfolio that boasts a lot of action movies, and you'd think he'd get used to the training in John Wick, yeah? Well, it's actually harder than all of us initially thought. And before we continue with the video, just want you all to remember that when Keanu Reeves started doing the John Wick movie, he's already in his 50s. So let that sink in. The man's no longer in his prime, yet managed to pull off some of the most demanding stunts. Take, for example, his hand-to-hand combat skills. I mean, the man had to do more than a couple of extensive martial arts trainings.
Or actor, there wouldn't be a John Wick. I think he's the only one that can play him. He can do everything. He's just as good as any stunt guy out there.
Playing the eponymous role in the film series, John Wick's known for his abilities that are so finely honed that he's gained the moniker Baba Yaga, a mythological boogeyman-like figure in the assassin underworld. Expert in all types of assassination and infiltration, John Wick has successfully completed missions all across the world with a 100% success rate. So naturally, Keanu Reeves had to play the part as close to reality as possible, especially since he's a master of numerous martial arts styles and a master marksman.
For me, action has always been about if I'm there, then that connection between the audience and I and the character is close.
It goes without saying that he had to put in a lot of training to play the part. For the role, Keanu studied the arts of judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Throughout the film series, these three martial arts styles are the most prominent, and the actor has to thank the Machado brothers and their choreographer Jonathan Eusebio for teaching him their ways. Do you know what's even more impressive? The International Judo Federation bestowed an honorary judo black belt on Keanu after he demonstrated his judo abilities in the movie. So how cool is that? And yeah, we all know he's a deadly assassin, right? This means he can practically use anything and turn it into a deadly weapon. There's this one term that was even popularized in the movie, gun fu. And yes, it's a thing. Simply put, it's short for gun kung fu, a fighting style that was really popular in the film series. In an interview with Page 6, Keanu shared how he trained for the gun fu, and it starts with the basics, gun handling. According to Keanu, what they do is they take a gun home where they start to get used to it, from holding it to practicing their draws. Basically, just take the gun home, start walking around, practice spying rooms, practice your draws, Keanu told the publication. And with John Wick, it's practicing your reloads, transitions from weapon to weapon, footwork, and then kind of coming up with the John Wick style. This fighting style was evident enough in the first movie alone. Remember the home invasion sequence near the beginning of the film? Yes, that's the one I'm talking about. To live up to John Wick's expertise, Keanu also underwent extensive firearm training, and we got to see John Wick show his gun fu skills for the first time in the first John Wick movie. Viewers get the impression that John Wick has everything under control, even after being retired for a lengthy amount of time. Thanks to the tactics and accuracy that are displayed in this sequence combined with his tactical reloads, the fighting sequence just really shows how hard Keanu trained, so props to the actor.
Consider our choices carefully. Why? Much has changed during your time away. Like what?
To defeat his opponents, he employs calculated reloads and cunning strategies. Oh yeah, he also had close-quarter tactics training under the guidance of Taron Butler. But Taron Butler wasn't the only one who lent his expertise to the actor. Keanu also had help from Sean Ryan, a former Navy SEAL and CIA contractor. And boy, to say his training was rigorous is an understatement. For 4 months, the John Wick actor trained 5 days a week for 8 hours a day in order to develop his performance. Can you believe the dedication this man has? Damn. And it sure did pay off. His hand-to-hand combat skills were quite memorable, especially in the warehouse fight scene in John Wick 2. If there's one recurring theme in the John Wick movies, aside from the back-to-back action scenes, it's the chase. The Baba Yaga has been on the run since he returned to the world of assassins. And yes, that means being chased down by people, cars, motorcycles, horses, you name it. So of course, stunts involving these vehicles and animals took a lot of work. There are stuntmen for this role, but Keanu also had to learn how to do his own stunts. But of course, safety is always a priority. So he learned these under the guidance and with safety features. Some of the notable examples of these are the motorbike chase sequence in John Wick Chapter 3, where he was pursued by Zero around New York until he reached the border. That's one exhilarating sequence if you ask me. Not only that, but there's also the warehouse escape scene in John Wick Chapter 2, where he had to drift and use his car to fend off and eliminate enemies on bikes. Just thinking about how Keanu and his stuntmen performed this is kind of bone-chilling since the scene was quite demanding. But they didn't have much choice since the goal was to make the movie series appear as real as possible. With a few exceptions for stunts he didn't feel comfortable undertaking, Keanu wanted to carry out these extremely risky stunts personally. Now, apart from all these pieces of training, of course, Keanu had to do his regular training regimen, but his workout routine serves two purposes: for his health and John Wick's fighting style. If there's one thing distinct about this workout, it's that it's based on the idea that his character needs ruthless effectiveness rather than big muscles, and is therefore incredibly cool and sophisticated. I mean, John Wick looks lean compared to other assassins, right? But because the actor's in his 50s, his training's more focused on strengthening his joints and core muscle groups and getting them to work together than it is on developing enormous biceps or deltoids. Resistance bands, which are less strenuous on the joints and give the body greater control, are frequently used in place of free weights in the John Wick routine. At least that's what Reeves' trainer Patrick Murphy said. In an interview with Muscle and Fitness, Patrick Murphy described the training program in detail. He said that the emphasis was on unilateral exercises like ice skaters and single-leg pistol squat hops, which enhance proprioception, the body's ability to sense what all its parts are doing, and balance. Which explains why Keanu isn't bulked up like other action stars. Now, doing all these stunts is no single feat. The actor had to work together with his co-actors and stuntmen as well. What's even more impressive about Keanu is there are more than a couple of times that he assisted his co-actors in training for their role. When filming grueling action scenes, there must be a great deal of trust between the actors. Without a doubt, they must feel secure so that they won't actually break each other's noses when exchanging punches. With that, this has been an inside look at Keanu Reeves' preparation for the John Wick movies.